what
This
we have
conference
discussed,
will now be recorded.
in the last class. Guys, any responses, please?
Application load balancer.
Application load balancer. So what did you understand from the application load balancer? Anyways, thank you for giving me at least a response. So when we're coming back to the next concept here, we need to discuss. So the point is, whenever we are creating any application, so here we will be creating an application, and that application will be deployed in a server. That we know about this. So there is a server. Inside the server, we are going to create an application. It might be a web application. Most probably that is a web application. When we are creating this web application, so initially, if at all it's a startup company, or else the application is not famous, initially the load will be very less. So slowly what happens, slowly even the application is becoming popular, the application number of people who are accessing this application will be increased. Okay, number of people who are accessing this application will be increased. So the load on the server will be keep on increasing. So we need to go for the load balancing. So we are going to install multiple servers. We are going to create multiple servers. On the top of the multiple servers, what we are going to do, we are going to run some load balancers. Okay, guys, is my voice is audible for you? Any disturbances? I think there is no disturbances, right?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So now we are about to discuss a concept here. When the load balancer is applied on this servers, so the load, as you can see in the previous session, we discussed about the network load balancer and application load balancer. These are the concepts that we have discussed. When we are discussing those load balancer will balance the load whatever coming from the outside. Okay, they will share the load between the servers, and they will transmit the load between the servers. Whenever they are doing that, suddenly, suppose this is a e-commerce website like your Flipkart or Amazon. So at a particular point of time, these two, the Flipkart and Amazon has announced a sale. For example, upcoming like Big Billion Day sales or Great Indian Festival sales, which are about to come on August. So like that, they have announced a sale. When these two e-commerce websites are announced a sale, automatically at the starting of the sales, what is going to happen? What will happen here at the start of the sale? So the load on the servers will be enormously increased. The load on the servers will be enormously increased at the starting of the sale. Once the sale is started, then slowly the load will be reduced. And again, if there is any exciting offer, then automatically the load will be increased. So here what you need to understand, there is a fluctuation in the load. So when you see here, there is a fluctuation in the load. Sometimes it will be increasing, and sometimes it is going to decrease. So how we can handle, how these servers are going to handle that load? So whenever the load on the servers are increased, what is our requirement? The server should be like what they need to have, the server should be increasing. If the load is decreased, automatically load is decreased on the servers, automatically the server should be decreased. So there should be an incrementing in the servers, and automatically there should be a decrement. So the number of servers that are using should be decreased. So how this will be happening? So this concept is called as auto scaling. So today we are going to discuss about auto scaling and auto scaling groups. So what is this auto scaling, and how we are going to configure this auto scaling groups? Now, before going for this auto scaling, what is meant by scaling exactly? So, auto scaling, or else we are going for the first, you need to understand what is meant by scaling. So, increasing and decreasing the capacity of servers, increasing and decreasing of any object is called as scaling. Here we are discussing about the servers, then it will comes under the servers. So now when you go for auto scaling, which means that we are automatically increasing the servers or else automatically decreasing the server capacity or number of servers. Here in AWS, there are two types of scalings. Two types of scalings. One is vertical scaling, and the other one is horizontal scaling. So what is this vertical scaling? Vertical scaling means increasing of resources. Increasing of resources is called as vertical scaling, which means that scale up, So here increasing of the resources in the sense increasing in the CPU value, number of CPUs, or else increasing the RAM capacity. For example, right now I am having only 2 GB of RAM. So for example, I want to increase it to 4 GB of RAM or 8 GB of RAM. That is called as increasing of resources. So if there is a variation in the resources capacity, variation of resource capacity, then that will comes under the vertical scaling. Here we are having scale up and scale down. These are the two things. What is meant by scale up? Scale up means here increasing the resources. So increasing the CPUs, increasing the RAM, then that is called as scale up. Now what is meant by scale down? Decreasing the resources, then that is called as scale down. When you're coming back to the horizontal scaling, here we are not going to increase the resources, but we are going to increase the servers. So variations in the servers, okay, we are going to increase the servers or decreasing the servers, then that will comes under the horizontal scaling. Here you will be having scaling means increasing of number of servers. And scale out means decreasing the number of servers. These are the concepts that we are going to see here. Decreasing the server capacity, okay, servers, number of servers, then that will comes under the scale out. So what we need to discuss in the vertical scaling or horizontal scaling? So first of all, we are going to create a server. Let me show you what is a vertical scaling. So where we have to use this vertical scaling, whenever you are going to use the vertical scaling, the main point here is, if you want to increase the servers or decrease the servers, if you want to apply if you want to apply vertical scaling, sorry, vertical scaling, then we need to shut down the server. We need to stop the server. So this is not feasible for this vertical scaling is not feasible for the data. So sorry, this vertical scaling is feasible for the databases. Okay, so whenever you want to increase the database capacity, so if you want to have a single database server, then it is feasible for your databases. Apart from that, so horizontal scaling is not sufficient for the databases. Where horizontal scaling will be helpful for you? Horizontal scaling will be used for the continuous continuous server access. Okay, so databases will not be continuously accessed. If the user is logged in, then the databases will be accessed. But the websites, whatever the web applications that you are accessing, those will be continuously accessed. So such type of servers require your horizontal scaling. The best example is your web servers. Whatever the web servers are there, web servers requires the horizontal scaling. Okay, now let me show you how to create this vertical scaling. Did you understand about this complete concept? Any questions, guys? Do you got the clarity about what is meant by horizontal scaling and vertical scaling? Any questions?
No question, sir.
Okay. When we coming back to the next concept here, what we are going to do here is, let me create a server. So first of all, what I will do, I will show you about the vertical scaling, and then we will be going back into the horizontal scaling. So here I am going to run a server. Let me run the server. Uh, Test server. Simply I will provide the name as test server. Okay. And Ubuntu mission 2204 is more than enough. T2 micro is good, and key pair will be AWS common. We can deploy in the dev-vpc. Okay, select an existing security group, and we are going to launch the server. Simple server, that's it. So launch an instance. So first of all, I want to show you about the vertical scaling. So what you are going to do in the vertical scaling? So here, suppose T2 micro is not sufficient for us. If this server is running, when the server is running at a particular point of time, I understood that okay, vertical scaling is not sufficient for us, so we need to go for the horizontal scaling. So these sorry, we need to increase the server capacity. My mistake. So we need to increase the server capacity. So how we can increase that? That is called that will comes under the vertical scaling. So whenever we are running the server, if the server capacity is not enough, then what I want to do here is I want to increase the number of, or else I want to increase the resources, whatever the resources that we are utilizing. So T2 micro will comes with one CPU and 1 GB of RAM, which is not sufficient to run the what I can say databases. To run those databases, what is my requirement here is, so see here, I want to increase the server capacity. To increase the server capacity, here you can see instance settings. Here you can see instance type. You can change the instance type, but now it is grayed out. Why? Because the server is running. At the time of running the server, we cannot increase the server capacity. If you want to increase the server capacity, then what you need to understand here is definitely, so what is the point here? If you want to increase the server capacity, then definitely you need to shut down the server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the server or stop the instance. Okay, when I stop this instance, see here, when it is completely stopped, what we can do here is, if you go to the actions and instance settings, you can change the instance type. Then that is called as vertical scaling. Hold on. I think it is stopped. Yeah. So now what you can do, this server can be increased. So if you see here instance settings, change instance type from T2 micro to, I want to increase it to T2 medium. T2 medium. So which means that I will get 2 CPU and 4 GB of RAM. So now the server capacity has been increased. When the server capacity is increased, now you can run your instances. Now if this is also not sufficient, you can increase that server by shutting down the server. You can increase the server resource capacity by shutting down the server. Now this is called as vertical scaling. When you come back to the next concept, here we need to discuss about the horizontal scaling. What is this horizontal scaling and how we are going to configure the horizontal scaling? Let us go back and discuss that. Now, let me show you an example so that you can get a clarity here. Now I am having a server. The server is running. Inside the server, I am having a web application. Okay, I am having a web application. In the horizontal scaling, automatically server should be deployed. Automatically server should be created and server should be deployed, and we should not do any manual intervention. Why? Because we don't know at what time the load will be increased and at what time the load will be decreased. So automatically server should be created. If at all, if I want to create the servers automatically, what are the pre-requirements? Can you tell me what are the pre-requirements to create the servers? What are the pre-requirements for installing a server or else for deploying a server? We want an AMI
Yes.
instance type, and then key pair, and then
Security
uh,
group. Sec-
subnets and security group. These are the five important things that we need to provide. Among these five types, we can provide the fourth type at any cost. So we don't need to worry about the instance type. We can select by launch template or else launch configuration. We can do that. But this AMI is important. This AMI is important. Why? Because we need to have the customized AMI. Now, what I have to do here, try to understand this point. This server, whatever the server that is running the application, this server should convert into an image. How we are going to convert it into an image? So there are two types that we can convert the server into an image. How? By using the packer or else by manual configuration. But we forget about the packer. Right now we don't require the packer. But as of now, what I'm going to do here is from this server, I'm going to create an image. So first of all, let us do that. So this is my auto scaling hyphen image. Okay, this is what I am going to create right now. Let us create that, and then we will be configuring the next concept. So first of all, we'll do that. So let me take this test server only. What is that? I will make it as AMI server. Okay, so copy the public IP, login into the server. Okay, so this is a Ubuntu mission. Okay, right, sudo su hyphen. So we need to log in as a Ubuntu user. Okay. So now I will install whatever the pre-requirements are there. I will install all those things. apt update hyphen y and apt install hyphen y nginx jq and unzip. Okay, and whatnot. What else we want? Okay, let me. That's more than enough for us. Is there anything that I can install? That's more than enough. Let me install all these things. Once I have installed this, so here you can see Nginx will be accessed by the server. Now we can access this. I will give you the IP address. You can try to access that. Okay. I just provided you the IP address. Try to access that, or else I just gave you the DNS. Try to access that. Once the Nginx is installed, you need to get the accessibility to the server, or else you need to get the website. Here you can see "Welcome to Nginx." You got this. So now what I want to do here is let me do one thing. I will change it to nano slash var var www html index dot nginx. Here I will make it as welcome to AWS sessions by Chaithanya. Now you like this. Okay, save this. Now when I refresh this, you need to get this. Welcome to AWS sessions by Chaithanya. So you are getting that, right? Are you able to access that? Are you able to get the website? Okay, let me go back and now what I'm going to do here is
Yes, yes, yes.
now I will convert this server into the image format. Let me convert this. I will go to the actions and here you can do images and templates, create an image, and the image name is AutoScaling hyphen image. Okay, or else you can give it as AWS B14. B14. Okay, good. Next one here is what I can do. I can provide the name for that image. Okay, create an image. So now the image is about to create. Let it create. After that, I want to explain you the next concept. Once the image is created, then the next thing what you need to do, so the traffic has to be routed. Why? Because it's not a small load, it is a very big load. Okay, so the load balancing has to do. So as I already said you, like it's a e-commerce website, suddenly an offer was declared, and due to that offer the load on that e-commerce website is enormously increasing. When the load on the e-commerce website is enormously increasing, then what we are going to do here is we need to do the load balancing. Here we are going to create a load balancer. So this is an application load balancer which I am going to create right now. This is the application load balancer which I am creating, and here we are having a single application. So I will be having a single target group. So right now we don't have the servers. Okay, so automatically the servers has to be created, but right now we don't have the servers. So, but without the servers, I am going to create a empty target group. So the targets will be implemented into that. Don't worry. So now this is the application load balancer which I am going to create, which is AWS AWS B40 hyphen ALB. Okay. So now what is going to happen? So this is the target group, that is I will simply make it as auto scaling hyphen TG. Auto scaling hyphen TG. This is the target group which I am going to create now. Uh, okay. After that, what we can do here is we can create a Route 53 so that the external users can access our servers. And I will connect to the load balancer. Now we need to configure this. Whenever we are doing this, that image will be available for us. Don't worry. So this is the Route 53. That is my, what is that? AWS. What I can do here is star.aws cgit.xyz. This is the domain name which I am having in my route 53. Okay, so let us configure this. When we go back to the EC2 instances, target groups, create a target group right now. Hold on. So I will delete all these target groups right now. We don't require them. Create a target group, and the instances target group is auto scaling -tg, and it is an application load balancer. So I am going with the HTTP protocol only. In which VPC I want to create? I want to create in the dev VPC. Select it and next. Right now we don't have any targets, so we don't need to include any targets. Create the target group. So if you see here, we don't have any targets. See that, zero targets. Without the targets, I just created the empty target group. Now I am going to create a load balancer. Create a load balancer. That is, we want the application load balancer. So this is my AWS B14-LB. It is an internet facing, and in which VPC you want to deploy this load balancer? In the dev VPC. And what are the mappings? So we already have the subnets: public subnet 1, public subnet 2, and public subnet 3. That is good. And if you go down here, it should listen to the port number 80, and security group is autoscaling-tg. Okay, create the load balancer. So that application load balancer is created. Once the application load balancer is created, then what we are going to do now? Let us check whether the AMI is created or not. So auto scaling B14, yes, it is created. Here you can see available. That's good. So now the AMI is also available. Now the next thing what I have to do here is I will go to the route 53 over here. In the route 53, I will update the load balancer. I will update the DNS of the load balancer. AWS. Let me do one thing. Sorry. So create a record, and the record is simple routing record. Next, define the simple routing record. The record name is somewhere like I can give auto scaling dot awscgit.xyz, or else if you want to give anything else, you can provide that. Let me do one thing. Nginx dot awscgit, you can provide like this. Any name, www, or else any subdomain you can provide. Right now I have provided like nginx dot awscgit.xyz. And what is my endpoint? My endpoint is my application load balancer. Where it is created? It is in the US East 1, North Virginia region. So what is the load balancer name? AWS B14-LB is the load balancer name. Select this and define the simple record and create the record. Done. So as per this diagram, what we have configured now, so this is done. So what is the load balancer domain name that I have provided here is nginx.aws.cgit.xyz. Okay, this is the name of the domain that I have given to the load balancer. So whenever any user is trying to access that, the user will get the response from the load balancer. The load balancer will communicate with the servers and provide the response. Okay, so now the point is, as we have created the auto scaling image here, we need to deploy the servers. How we are going to deploy the servers? So to deploy the servers here, what we are going to do here is, here you are having an option called as, in EC2 you are having an option called as auto scaling groups, but launch templates are unfortunately I think from the from the June onwards, they have deleted this launch configuration. Here we used to have the launch configuration, but unfortunately that is not there. So no problem, here we can go for the launch template. So here you can see auto scaling groups, create an auto scaling group. Something is changed here, we need to provide the launch template. Okay, so let us create the launch template. So how I can create the launch template? It is pretty simple. As I already said you in the previous sessions, create a launch template. So this is my AWS auto scaling. Okay, and then here you can select the image. Where is that? My AMIs. What is the AMI that I have to select? Auto scaling image AWS B14. This is the AMI that I am going to select. and the instance type is T2 micro. Okay, that's more than enough. And key pair will be AWS common key pair, and we don't want to select any subnets, and we don't want to select any firewall also. No necessity of, sorry, security groups are necessity. So what is the security group? Here we are having multiple security groups. Among those, what is my requirement? What is my VPC ID? Let me check the VPC ID first. So the VPC ID is 0DE0. So where is it? If you see the security group 0DE, this is the one. Select this. So in that security group, I want to deploy the servers. And EBS volumes, that's more than enough. 8 GB is more than enough. And resource tags, I want to give the name for the resources as auto scaling underscore servers. Okay, that's more than enough. And here you can provide the advanced details. What is the advanced details that I am going to provide here is slash bin slash bash apt update. Okay, apt update hyphen y. And the next one, what I can provide here is, hold on. So I want to get the IP address of each and every server. How can I get that? So curl hyphen s capital L http colon slash slash 169.254.169.254 slash latest slash meta hyphen data slash local hyphen IPv4. Okay, I got this. Now what I can do here is pvt IP equal to simply curl. Okay, so what I can do here is I can give this command. Why? Because to make you understand, I am giving this again. Okay, so from which server you are getting, and I just want to make sure that you will understand this concept. Dollar pvt IP. So we got this. Okay, that's fine. Now what I will do here is I will copy this and go to here. So curl http even as capital L. Okay, that's good. Dollar pvtip equal to, I will simply provide like this. And the next one, what I can do here is echo, okay, h1 echo h1 dollar pvtip slash h1. Okay, that should be updated in, slash var slash www slash html. What is the name of that file? Index dot, so cd or else ls slash var www html. So if you can see in this file, that should be updated. I'll give the file name over here. Okay, done guys. Okay, that's good. So everything is fine, and create a launch template. Once we have created this launch template, then next what I'm going to do here is I'm going for the auto scaling groups. Here, go to the auto scaling groups, create an auto scaling group. So the name of the auto scaling group is AWS B14 auto scaling. Okay, so the launch template here is AWS auto scaling. This is the launch template. Just now we have created that. Is there any mistake? T2 micro, AMI ID, AWS common, security group is good. Everything is fine. Next, and VPC. In which VPC we want to deploy? In the dev VPC. What are the availability zones? Here we are having public subnet 1, public subnet 2, and public subnet 3. Okay, that's good. So instance type requirement, auto scaling T2 micro, that is good. Next, do you have any load balancer? Of course, we are having an attached to an existing load balancer. So choose from your load balancer target groups. So what is the target group we are having? Auto scaling hyphen DG. Just now we have created this. Inside this target group, we need to deploy the servers. I just forgot one installation. No problem. no VPC latest service, and we need to turn on the load balancing check health check also. So every time load balancer has to check the health of the servers. So how servers are working, whether there is uh, any problem with the servers, is there any one server is down or not. So every time it has to check the health of the servers, and the grace period is 120 seconds. What is this grace period? After creating the server, so automatically servers will be created by the auto scaling group. After creating the servers, load balancer has to wait for 120 seconds. That is, load balancer has to wait for 2 minutes to get the first health check. That is what I have provided there. And enable group matrix collection within CloudWatch. We don't want this, but let us give this. Mm, okay. Next, and number of servers you want is maximum 4 servers. So here you can see the desired capacity is 1. Definitely one server should be running, and the minimum number of servers are 1, and maximum servers are total number of servers that should be deployed is 4 servers. Why? Because depending of the load, the server should be increasing. So I need to have 4 servers. And the scaling policy, right now we are not going to give any scaling policy, but our entire auto scaling depends upon this scaling policies only. When we are going to configure, after creating this auto scaling groups, I will show you. Next, notification, we don't require that. Tags, I already provided the tag, but anyways, name AWS underscore server underscore auto scaling, simply to make you understand. Okay. Next, and here you can see create an auto scaling group. Once you have created this auto scaling group, what should be done here? You can check out this. Right now the capacity is only one instance should be deployed. Let me go back to the EC2 instances. Here you can clearly see this one instance should be deployed and running. Okay, hold on. Right now we are having AMI server only, but it is updating the capacity. So hold on. Yeah. Now, if you can see, one instance is deployed. Who deployed this auto scaling group has been deployed that. When you refresh this, look at there, AMI server auto scaling. So this is the server which we have created, underscore one. But unfortunately, I did not give stress in the AMI configuration. But whenever you want to convert the AMI, if there is a server and you want to convert into an image, then you install the stress on that server. How to install the stress? So copy the public IP and new session. So what is the main functionality of the stress? So here, how many students are there? There are somewhere around 10 students are attending the session, and I am also there. Total 11 people are there. How many, how much load you can apply on the server? If you try to understand this, how much load you can apply? So if you all try to access the server also, that won't be more than 1% of the CPU. Now what this stress is going to do here is apt update hyphen y. Okay, what this stress is going to do here is apt install hyphen y stress and htop. These are the two things that I am going to install. Once I have installed this, now here you can see when I give stress. Okay, before giving the stress, let me take the duplicate session so that the same server will be available. I will run the htop command. Htop. Now when you see here, right now the CPU utilization is 0. When I give the stress, here copy this command. Now paste it over here. I want the stress to be on the server. The CPU percentage should be 100% utilized for 10 minutes. When I give this, if you can see here, see that the CPU is 100% utilized. Okay. So for that reason, for virtual load on the server, I am installing the stress. Okay. So after installing the stress, what I can do here is, let me do one thing. So here the point is we have virtually applied the load. So we just created the auto scaling groups by using this auto scaling image. We just created the auto scaling group. Okay. So with this image only, we have deployed a server. With this image only, in this target group, we just deployed a server. When we deployed the server over here, so CloudWatch will continuously monitor the server. The CloudWatch will continuously monitor the server. Whenever the CloudWatch is continuously monitoring the server, what we need to do here is, or else what CloudWatch has to do here is, it has to collect the CPU information. For example, what I am going to do for that, we need to create the dynamic policies. Here you can see, if you select the auto scaling groups, here you can see automatic scaling. Here there are dynamic policy. Right now we are going to create a dynamic policy. What is this dynamic policy? So here we are having two types of scalings. One is step-by-step scaling and simple scaling. First of all, we will see what is step scaling, and later on we will go with the simple scaling. So when I select the step scaling over here, and the policy name is high CPU utilization. High CPU utilization. Okay. So we need to create a CloudWatch alarm. So what this alarm going to do? What is this CloudWatch alarm? So whenever we are creating this CloudWatch alarm, so the CloudWatch service will continuously monitor our servers. Whatever the servers that are deployed in this auto scaling groups, they will continuously monitor the servers. Okay. When they are monitoring the servers, suddenly if the load on the server is increased, right now we are going to configure the same. What I am going to do here is select the metric. Here you can see what is happening here. Yeah. Here you can see we are having EC2. Select EC2. In EC2 we are having auto scaling group. Select this. So here, why we are not getting this? Hold on. We need to get CPU utilization, but unfortunately, why we are not getting this? Oh, metadata, no token. Why? What happened? Hold on. I think it is a problematic situation over here. This is right now, it is changed from today. I think today onwards, in the last class also it is properly there, but unfortunately it is changed now. Key instance metrics. Here we need to have not the instance metric, here we need to have the auto scaling metrics, but why it is not coming? Maybe there is a mismatch in the configuration. Just give me a second, guys. uh, yeah, right now we got this by auto scaling groups. Select this. So we need to check out the CPU utilization. So AWS B14 auto scaling CPU utilization. Select the metric. So what I am going to do here, on a maximum 1 minute, if the CPU utilization is more than 40%, then what you need to do here is you need to ring an alarm. Ring an alarm in the sense we don't get the sound. It will send a notification. Okay, create a new topic. Here we are going to create the topic as resource utilization. Resource underscore utilization. Okay. So to which mail ID? To the AWS CGIT, or else let me do one thing. Chaithanya CGIT at gmail.com. Okay, create the topic. Whenever you created this topic, you will get a mail from the AWS. Let me show you that. When you go into your email ID, here you can see you got a subscription confirmation. So confirm the subscription so that we are accepting that we can get the notification from the AWS. Confirm the subscription. After confirming that, what we are going to do here is, now let me go back to my CloudWatch. Once we have confirmed this, then what we can do here is next, and give the name, alarm name as CPU underscore utilization underscore 40%. I will give like this. Next, and create an alarm. So once the alarm is created, once the alarm is created, see what is the alarm? CPU utilization 40%. So now what is going to happen? Let me refresh this. Here you can see we are having CPU utilization 40% selected. When the CPU utilization is for somewhere like 40 to 50%, one instance should be deployed. And the CPU utilization is from 50 to 60%, another instance should be deployed. And the CPU utilization is between 50 to 60 to 70%, the third instance should be deployed. So this is what I am going to provide. So this is how the instances are going to be deployed, and the warm-up time is only 30 seconds. And create the launch template. When we create this, here we are having a high CPU utilization launch template. Now what I can do here is when I go back here, I will apply the load. Let me go for this. I'm going to apply the load. Or simply we can give like this stress. Okay, we can apply the load on the server. So I will apply 100% load for 30 minutes. Okay, so that the server utilization or else the CPU utilization is 100%. Whenever it is 100%, so what this auto scaling group will do? Auto scaling group will wait for 1 minute. It will check for 1 minute whether the CPU utilization is more than 40% or not. If the CPU utilization is more than 40%, then what it is going to do? It is going to deploy on another server. Right now, let us check whether we are able to access the website or not. Let me go back here. AWS, sorry, nginx dot aws cgit dot xyz. There you go. Right now we are having a server that is 192.168.1.215. If you see here, whatever the server that is deployed, what is the IP address? 192.168.1.215. Okay, so when the stress is huge on the server after 1 minute, auto scaling group is going to create a, or else auto scaling group is going to deploy a server, okay, which will be an another IP address. You are going to get another IP address. So this is how auto scaling groups will be helpful for you. When the load is high, automatically it is going to deploy the server. So let us see that. Understood the point? Any questions here?
No.
Okay, let us see. Hold on, we need to wait for a minute, and after that and another server will be deployed. Hold on. Desired capacity is still 1, so we need to check the alarm status. It is saying that insufficient data. Right now we don't want these things. Let me delete them. I want the CPU utilization 40%. It should be actions enabled. Hold on. So for 1 minute, it should be like, why it is saying that insufficient data? We need to get the alarm status. Yeah, here you can see in alarm. So automatically we are going to get a notification. See there, AWS notification, high CPU utilization. See there. So we got a message from the AWS saying that the CPU utilization is more than 40%. So we are going to deploy a server. Here you can see automatically right now the instances, how many instances are there? 2 instances has been deployed. Now here you can see another instance is going to be created. Now when I refresh this, look at there, and a server is also created. Now this is my server 2. Okay, so we can access this server, and we can install the stress on the server. Why? If at all, if I don't install the stress on this server, what will be happening here means 50%, so 50-50. So it is going to share the load. 50% of the load will be shared with the one server, and remaining 50% will be shared with the another server. So the load will not be increased. So I just want to show you how the load will be increased. What happens if the load is increased? apt install -y stress. Okay, now if you can see on the both servers I will implement the stress. Okay, on the both servers I am going to implement the stress so that the sharing will not be done. So on both servers the load will be 100% only. I'll make it as 30 minutes so that on both the servers the load will be 100% and it is going to deploy on another server. When I refresh here, after a minute I am going to get an another server here. Hold on. Okay, so if you install the stress you won't find out this difficulty, but anyways no problem. Hold on. Why it is showing that insufficient data? It should show in alarm. Hold on. When it shows that it is in alarm, then automatically a server is going to be deployed. Third server will be installed. Hold on, hold on. Come on. Sometimes it is creating problems for me. Hold on, guys. When I go back to the CloudWatch, hold on. Again, right now we are having in alarm. So if you can see here, so the third server is also going to be created. If I refresh this, it is updating the capacity. Right now, how many instances are there? We are having 3 instances. So automatically, when we install the stress on the third instance also, it is going to, let me do one thing. A new server is creating. Where is this? AWS server AutoScaling underscore 3. This is the new one. Let us access this server. Now if you can see here, when I refresh this, so here you are getting from 192.168.1.215. When I refresh this, now there is, you are getting the response from the another server. When you refresh it again, so you need to get from the third server also. Hold on, let me access the server and implement the stress on the server so that the load will not be decreased. Okay, uh, install -y stress. Good. Okay, done. So now I will implement the stress. Okay, stress, and here it should be 30 minutes. When I implement the stress on the server 3 also, then automatically a new server will be created. Server 4 will be created. Hold on. Again, go back to the CloudWatch. Right now it is in the in alarm status, and you need to wait for a while so that the capacity will be increased to 4 after 1 minute. Okay, so this is how we are going to configure the auto scaling group, and automatically the servers are getting increased. Okay, when the load is increased, automatically the number of servers that we are utilizing will be increased. See here, you got from 190 to 168.3, and if you see the next one, from 2 and from 1, so which means that from 3 different servers you are getting the responses. Now hold on for a minute. So the new fourth server will be deployed. Okay, that's fine. Now the point is, when the load is decreased on the server, so we should not intervene in between. So human effort should not be there. Automatically when the load is increased, automatically the server should be created, and when the load is decreased, automatically the server should be deleted. How we are going to do that? For that also we are going to create a dynamic policy. This time I will go with the simple scaling, and here CPU less utilization. Okay, and I am going to create a cloud watch. Again, I am going to create a cloud watch alarm. This time select the metric, and the metric is for the EC2 auto scaling groups. You can go with the CPU utilization. There is this. If the CPU utilization is less than 30% for an average of 1 minute, minimum 1 minute, if the CPU utilization is less than 30%, okay, less than 30%, not the minimum, we need to get the maximum 1 minute. If the CPU utilization is less than 30%, then we need to delete the server. So we need to get an alarm. So we already created the alarm. What is that? Resource allocation. So here you can say resource utilization. Select this. So it will send a mail to the Chaithanya CGIT. Next, here we can provide that CPU load reduced to 30%. Okay, this is the name which I am giving. Next, create an alarm. So once the alarm is created, then what we can do, we can apply, or else we can configure in the dynamic scaling groups. So let me refresh this. Here we are having load reduced to 30%. Then what we have to do, we have to remove 3 servers at a time. I want to remove the 3 servers. In the step scaling, we are increasing the servers step by step, and when the load is reduced, then we are going to decrease the servers uh, at a time. 3 servers should be deployed, and the grace time will be 30 seconds. Okay, created. So once we have created this, so now you can see here how many instances are there. 4 instances are created. Now if you go to the instances over here, where is this? Server 1. Yeah, this is the server 4. Fourth server is also installed, or else fourth server is also deployed. So that what is going to happen, our if still the load is increasing, then what we have to do, sir, if still load is increasing, then what you can do here is you can go to the actions, edit. Here you can increase the capacity. Here you can increase the capacity to 5, 6, and how many number of servers you want, you can increase up to that. So that is how you can configure this. Okay, so that's about the concept of your auto scaling groups. Now let us create, or else first of all let me check whether the fourth server is created or not. So here you can see 4 servers are created and are running, and we don't want this AMI server. So AMI server work is done. So to create the image only, we have this AMI server. Once the image is created, we can terminate that. Okay, I'm going to terminate the AMI server. Done. So don't terminate manually. So don't terminate your auto scaling group servers. Whatever the servers that are created by auto scaling, don't terminate them manually. It is the responsibility of auto scaling to terminate, not your responsibility. So here we have the servers that are created by your auto scaling groups automatically. Okay, so all the servers are configured with the CloudWatch. Okay, so the CloudWatch is going to increase the server capacity. Hold on. Right. So the CloudWatch will monitor that. If there is any difference, automatically it is going to give an alarm for the auto scaling group. So the auto scaling group will then launches the servers. Okay, so this is what going to happen. The auto scaling group is going to deploy the servers. Okay, done. So this is what happens in the backend. Now we need to reduce the, now what we have to do, we need to reduce the server load. So let us go back to there. So first of all, let us see how many servers are there. If you can see here, 4 servers are there, and fourth server is also up and running. Here you can see what are the different running servers we are having. We are having 4 auto scaling servers, and when you refresh this, here you are having 1.215, 3.238, 2.172, and 2.139. So we are having total 4 servers are deployed as per our requirement. Now I am going to reduce the what I can say, wait on the servers, or else load on the servers. See here, sudo sudo su hyphen simply. So unfortunately I am disconnecting from the ssh. I need to check out the putty configuration once. But if you see here, ps hyphen ef, when you give this command, it is going to show you here you need to kill stress. Where is the stress? Here you can see. So simply what you can do here is give this 1495. If you give this kill 1495, so for everywhere it is not going to be like that. So right now we don't have the stress. If you can see h top, cpu utilization is 0. Okay, that's good. So let me go back to the second server. So this is my third server. Let me go back to the second server. Here also I got disconnected from the session. Let me go for the duplicate session, and I am going to kill the process. If you don't want, if at all, if you are accessible, you are trying, your session is not ended, or else your session is not disconnected, what you can do here is you can simply press Control C. Then the stress will be, or else the stress application will be killed. Okay. So if not, what you can do here is sudo su hyphen ps hyphen ef. If you give this command, here you can see the stress is running at 1510. So kill it, kill 1510. So now if you see h stop, so cpu is 0%. That's good. And the next one, what I am going to do here is I am going to install, or else I am going to access that first server, so that I am slowly decreasing the server load. Okay, duplicate session. Right now when you see here how much percentage of cpu utilization is there, 100% is there. So now what I can do here is, so ps hyphen ef. So here we need to kill this 2002. Okay, kill 2002. So if you see here h stop, still it is showing, now it is 0%. So I have removed the load. Now what CloudWatch will do? CloudWatch will continuously monitor the servers. When the server utilization is less than 30%, when the server utilization is less than 30%, then automatically it will convert into the in alarm status. Right now it is showing still CPU utilization is more than 40%. Once it is, once the CloudWatch analyzes the servers and says that okay, the server utilization is less than 30%, then this 30% alarm will be in alarm and it will be in OK state. So we need to wait for that, so that the servers are going to be terminated. So this is about your complete auto scaling groups. So we don't need to involve in deleting the servers. So manually we should not delete the servers. So what happens if we delete the servers? So if you delete the servers, the auto scaling group will understand that. So user, so for example, I have decreased the load. Automatically the load is less than 30%. 3 servers are going to be deleted, and still 1 server is running, and you think that I have to delete it manually. And if you delete that server manually, what is going to happen in the behind? Then auto scaling group will think that, or else auto scaling group will, the mechanism will understand that actually the user specified that what we have specified here, at least 1 server should be running. Here we have specified that why desired capacity is 4. The desired capacity is 1. At least one server should be running. At least one server should be running, and the minimum capacity is also 1. So I have to run at least one server. But if you see in the auto scaling group, the somebody has deleted the server. So what I have to do, I need to reduce the server capacity. Sorry, so what it is going to do, it is going to think that okay, I need to install the server. So it is going to automatically install the server. So what we have done, we have manually terminated the server. But auto-scaling group mechanism is that as per the desired capacity and minimum number of servers, one server should be running. But unfortunately, in the auto-scaling group, we have manually terminated the server, so the total number of servers are 0. But in the auto-scaling configuration, what we have said, we need to run at least one server. So it is going to run, obviously, automatically it is going to create the server. So how we can terminate that? Simply delete the auto-scaling group, then the servers will be deleted. Whatever the server is there, that will be deleted. So that's about the concept. Here you can see uh, why it is going for 5. Hold on. I did not give the desired capacity. I gave only 1. Minimum capacity is also 1. Maximum capacity is 4. Update. Now when I updated this, then it should be reducing. Hold on. New server is created. It should not create that. Okay. Anyways, hold on. So see that the desired capacity is 1. Okay, now the maximum capacity is 4 and desired capacity is 1. So automatically it is going to terminate all the instances. Here you can see the activity. When you go to the activity, here you can see waiting for ELB connection draining. Okay, so automatically it is going to delete the servers. So that's about your auto scaling configuration. Once the servers are deleted, don't manually delete the servers. Delete the auto scaling configuration. So automatically the server will be deleted. Am I clear with this concept? Any questions, guys? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Now I'm getting from 1.20 only, which means that the server is on the way to terminate. Hold on. So this is the concept of your auto scaling groups, and tomorrow we will discuss about Route 53. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. Have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session. Hold on, hold on. So decommissioning is as simple as like this. You need to delete the auto scaling group and you need to delete the application load balancer. That's it. Come on. Come on, come on. So minimum 5 minutes. Hold on. It is still in the ELB training, so it should be in the terminating mode. Come on. Hmm. There you go. So shutting down and terminating. The servers are getting shut down and they are terminating. So we don't need to worry about the terminating concept. So they are terminating. And the next thing here, what we are going to do here is we can delete the load balancer and we can delete the auto scaling groups. So simply what I am going to do, I'm going to delete the auto scaling group and as well as I am going to delete the load balancer also. That we can do. So this is the concept of your load balancer and auto scaling groups. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss about the Route 53. So from the past 3 days onwards, you are in confusion. What is this Route 53? We'll discuss about that in the next class. Okay. Have a nice day and